Well, we'll get started. Welcome, everybody. We're excited you're here for our Vault webinar. We'll make it short and sweet and share with you guys everything you need to know about the Vault. I am Michaela Schell. I'm the Entrepreneurial Development Director here at Dakota Business Lending. Joining me is Caitlin Webush. She's our Marketing Director, and Sophia Bates. She's our Marketing Specialist. We all worked on the Vault and are here to really excited to share it with you what we've done over the last couple of years and here to answer any questions. So a little overview of what this session will entail. I'll share a little bit about the purpose of the Vault, why we created it and how we're hoping it's used. We'll go through how to use and navigate some of the key features, as well as how you can promote it within your communities, within your networks. And then we'll share a few future additions that we have in mind, and we welcome your feedback on that. And then, of course, answer any questions. So if you do have questions, throw them up in the chat. I will try to catch them as we go. If not, Caitlin will be monitoring that chat and can either answer some of them there if they're really quick, or we can get to them at the end of the session. And as always, you can reach out to any of us at Dakota Business Lending and talk through any of the questions or needs that you have. So first, the purpose of the Vault, a little history. Like many of you, we were seeing some opportunities to create something that could really help us, help the small business owners in our state, help resource providers like yourself. One of the great things about North Dakota is that we have so many incredible funding sources, resources for small business, but with that, we have so many resources, which makes it really hard for all of us as helpers and providers to small businesses to find these resources. I know I'm not alone in saying I've spent hours searching websites and Google and whatnot to find things that the small businesses need. So we had been hearing that from the communities as well as experiencing that ourselves and said, how can we bring all of these great resources into one place? So long story short, that's how the Vault was born. In 2022, we launched our first chamber of the Vault, which are financing resources. That includes any kind of loan funds across the state, grant resources, tax credits, anything to do with financing. We brought all that data together and put it all inside the Vault for providers like you and small businesses to be able to easily find what they're looking for. We also heard, as that was developing and we were getting great feedback on that, we heard a lot and experienced a lot that small businesses aren't just looking for funding sources. They're looking for help with their business plan. They're looking for meeting space. They're looking for help with succession planning. And there are so many of you great providers out there that help with a multitude of things for small businesses. So we created chamber number 2, which are resource providers. So that includes all of the resource providers like yourself across the state, and allows small businesses to find that provider that can match with the needs that they have. So before we get into digging deeper into how the Vault works, just a few things on our homepage that are nice to know. As you can see, these 2 chambers are blinking. That's what we have. Those are the chambers we have open now. We're alluding to other chambers. We're hopeful those come soon. The Vault, how we've laid it out is our goal was to make it incredibly simple and easy to navigate. So it's very quick. I'm looking for financing or I'm looking for resources. You can also find that same thing up on top, find a financing program or a resource provider. We'll dive deeper into those sections really soon. A couple other things to note as you scroll down, we have a key programs site here. That changes with every refresh. So we'll refresh the page and new programs are featured. So your program, if you have one in the Vault, will eventually be featured. I hope when you get on the Vault, you catch that, but they just automatically rotate at random. And then, of course, as you scroll down, a little bit more details on what is included in each of these chambers of the Vault and more to come. So we'll get into these chambers a little bit, how to use them and some unique features. We'll start with financing. So if a small business is looking for financing, or if you as a provider are trying to help them find some options, this is a great place to start. We've kept it really simple. There are just a few questions that they can answer to help us pull the data for them, help our website pull the data for them. They can click on any of these buttons to narrow their search. One thing to note is, if they click equipment, and energy, the search feature is going to bring up all the funding that's in existence for equipment and all the funding sources in existence for energy. It won't just be energy and equipment together. So it allows us to give them a broad spectrum of data, because all of these finance programs are so nuanced. We want to make sure they have everything that they can look through and that might apply for them.
Hey, Michaela.
So, yeah.
Sorry to jump in. Would you be able to maximize your screen so it's just a little bigger? Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you
better?
so much. Yes.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know that.
Yeah.
You guys could see my background with my sweet family in it, probably just their legs. So you got a sneak peek. So you can click any of these. For today's example, we'll just leave them all unchecked, but then you simply click Find Programs. And what that does is it pulls up that list. Of course, this list, because we didn't check anything, has all of the programs, but you'll get the data that you put in yourself. Once you're down here, here are some of the great features I love about the Vault. The first one is we have this unique compare feature, and this is what might be most beneficial to you as a provider in how you can serve your customers. You can compare up to 3 different programs. So if you're going through here and you think a few of these look like they might be beneficial, you can click which ones you'd like to compare, choose Get Comparison. You type in your name and email and click Send. It will send you that comparison. And what it will look like, you'll get an email. Can you guys see this PDF? You'll get an email that includes a PDF with all of your comparisons side by side. So you can really easily forward this PDF to a client with some of those resources that they can start looking at. You can easily just have this saved in your email so that when you're ready to dig deeper, you'll know exactly where it's at. You don't have to do a second search. So we really love that compare feature. You can do that as many times as you want, send as many to your email as you'd like. It just allows you to keep that information instead of having to go back and search. So that's a really great feature. Next, so if you do find a program that you like, you can click on that program, and first it'll take you to a landing page at the Vault that just gives a brief overview of this program. You can see the provider on there, if there's any specific dollar amounts, if there's a specific industry it's in, it gives you the direct contact information. So it just gives you a broad enough overview so you can say, yes, I want to learn more. No, this isn't the program for me. If you do decide you want to learn more, simply clicking unlocking that more info button will take you right to that funding sources page so you can dive deeper on your own. A few things to note on this page that will be really important to you as providers. If you're looking at this, especially if you have a listing in the Vault, there's a way to update your program. So we really encourage you to check the Vault at least 1 time a year, if not twice a year. Find the program that you maybe oversee, whether it's funding or resource. If anything is incorrect, you can click this Update Program button. It'll allow you to input your email address if you are the editor of this program. If you're not sure if you're the editor or not, you can always email us and we'll help you navigate that. But then you can submit that and we'll give you the tools to update that. We'll send you a direct link with information on how to get this listing updated, because we know things change all the time. Contact information change. If it's a loan program, dollar amounts might change, anything like that. So we want to make sure that it's kept most up to date. And we really will rely on the providers in the Vault to make sure that we know of those changes. One thing to note, yes, we want you to check in on this as frequently as you can, but we will work to send an email at least once a year, if not every 6 months, to the editor of this page, just as a reminder to say, hey, check your listing, update it. Here's a link where you can do that. So be watching for one of those emails coming up. Let's go back to the home page. That was the financing section. If you're looking for resources, it's very much the same. First thing with this resource section, I do want to give a little shout out to the North Dakota Small Business Development Centers. They were our partners in creating this second chamber of the Vault. So we're really, really thankful to them for their support and co-sponsor of this second chamber. Again, with this chamber, it's the same. You can click on the things that you need in the zip code you need, choose Find Resources. All the resources available will come up. You can also compare these resources as you go to that provider. again, the same page will pop up. It's very much the same. You can also choose to update your provider. Whatever you need to do is on this page. So it's very much utilized in the same way as the financing resource page. Anything to note, Caitlin, that I'm missing on these?
Think you got her covered for now.
Great. As you can see, it's very, very simple, very, very streamlined. We went through a lot of renditions of this, of what it could look like. And that was one of the things that we wanted to make sure we did most, is not a tons of bells and whistles, not a bunch of crazy stuff to navigate, making it really, really simple for you as providers and as small business owners to just simply pull what they need. A few other things to note about the vault is there's a quick search tool up here. And this is a great way for you to, I'll just search Dakota Business Lending, to find your resource, or if you're looking for a specific provider. So there's Dakota Business Lending. We can check up on our resource. I encourage you to search your listing. Know that the search feature will only pull information that's in your name, your heading name. So if you're, searching for coffee, it's probably not going to pull that unless it's in the name. But if you're searching for, your specific name, you should be able to find that. So definitely use that feature if you're looking to find a specific provider. And I think that's it as far as navigating as I'm looking at my notes. A few other things we'd like to share with you guys about the Vault is we'd really love for you to share this resource on your platform. The more providers that know about this resource, the more small businesses that know about this resource, the more all the great resources that we have in North Dakota can get into the hands of these small business owners. So there's a few ways to do that. First, any of the staff, any of the employees in your organizations, please disseminate this information with them. Let them know it's a tool that they can use. Everything on the Vault is free. We just want people to use it and get the most out of it they can. So please share that within your organization so that your staff can utilize it to help their small businesses. You're also welcome, if you have a website you'd like to put this on, just reach out to us. We can send you a logo and a direct link so you can embed that directly. And then of course, on your social media, we welcome you to share anything about the Vault. If you follow Dakota Business Lending, or we even have a Vault page, as you can see in this corner, we do share information on there. So feel free to share it on your social platforms to allow your networks and the small businesses that you serve to know that this is a resource for them. So I know a big question that a lot of people always have are, what's next? There's a few chambers that aren't blinking on here. What's coming down the pipeline? We have a lot of brainstorming in the works to see what that is, to figure out what that is. But what we'd really like to hear is from you. You are all out in the field. You're working with small businesses every day. What is a theme that is commonly coming up for you that they need? What is a problem that they need solved? What is a resource that they're missing or that's hard for them to find? One of the things that we have in the works that we're percolating on right now is how can we create a place for programs and events. We have a lot of resources providers on here. Say, you're the SBDC, like we mentioned before, they provide one-on-one business coaching and advising. Well, often they have programs that's an 8-week program or a one-day event that can help business owners. We're working on creating a section of the Vault that they can share that one program on itself so that business owners and entities can come here and say, hey, what's going on right now in my community that this small business can attend or tap into that can help them immediately. So that is in the pipeline. If that's something that you feel strongly about and think we need, please email us and encourage us to get that done. We like to know that we're on the right track. Other things that we're working on, a lot of it is back-end web development things. We're working on streamlining the search and making it improving some sorting capabilities, being able to sort by county, potential mapping features so that there's a visual way to locate some of the resources that you're working on. A lot of it is some back end things, making it more friendly for you as a provider to edit and get into your page and do some of those changes as well. So logistical things that aren't very glamorous, but that will continue to make the Vault really, really great from a user's perspective. But again, if you have ideas, if you have needs that you're seeing in your community, please let us know so that we can work to make sure the future chambers that we do create are aligned with what our states need. So with that, nice and short and sweet, are there any questions anyone has? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or you can throw them in the chat. Awesome. We got everything covered. And I think that really bodes well to our purpose of keeping it simple, easy to understand. We've done that. It's not complicated. So what I will do is I will end this session by saying, again, please remember to share this with your community, your organizations, help us continue to get the word out about this and how it can help all of you. Do watch for a follow-up email from us. We will have this webinar in there, the recording of this, so you can easily share this with your teams. And then you can, of course, reply to that and ask any questions as well in there. And again, we'd love to hear any ideas that you have for us to continue to make the Vault a great resource for all of us in North Dakota serving our small business owners. So with that, thank you all very much for attending. We look forward to hearing your wisdom and advice and ideas on the Vault. Thank you so much.